Hello, my name is Thomas Hand. Welcome to our Rethink Youth session. I'm joined alongside by Natalia and Teray. We are from Liberty High School, and we are going to be talking to you guys today about learning styles. And we're happy to be here. We're happy to be invited by the Rethink Youth Conference. We appreciate their commitment to having students' voices heard. I think that's a really big deal personally, just because having my voice heard and then being able to help the grades behind me before I graduate on to college is a big deal for me. So
Student voice to me personally means power and inclusion, because I honestly feel like it's including all student voices and my voice. And we're the ones that's learning every day. We're the ones that's in the school. We're the ones that's going through it. So the fact that we're being included in that and not just adults is really important.
So, student voice when it comes to learning strategies and styles is just very important because we are the people learning. We're the people sitting in class, taking notes. And so, being able to advocate for what we really want our learning styles to look like is really important to set us up for success in college or in our future careers, whatever we want it to look like.
I think that this certain topic is important to us because the world today has changed and the way we learn has changed and people's learning styles has changed. So, really, whatever just makes you comfortable.
yeah, and I really think learning styles is a big key component to education, just because everyone learns a different way. There's visual learners, there's people who work hands-on, and everyone just learns a different way. So I think it's really just key that we try and hone in on that and just try and get people comfortable with their education.
Today in our presentation, we'll be talking briefly about history of learning strategies and styles, followed by different things that we have found solutions of ways you can incorporate every style in the classroom, along with ways we recommend you can for teachers, students, and just allowing for student voice to advocate for what we want. Over these past few weeks, we've been working together over Zoom to gather research and evidence of scholarly articles to present to you within our presentation and our project brief so that you will be able to view. We would love for you to take some time to look over the evidence we have found on why learning strategies is important.
Good morning, this is Liberty High School, and our topic today is a taste for learning styles, creating an environment where everyone feels comfortable, accepted, and respected. Our presentation will highlight the need for different learning strategies in the classroom.
All right, so a little bit about Liberty. Starting off first is that we definitely, as a whole, have an abundance of teachers, counselors, and administrators who work hard to make sure that their students know that they are cared for and taken care of. Our school also has renovated workspaces that have been created to promote comfortable learning. An example of that is our new flex space called The View, which is an area where students can come and do homework or meet with their counselors. Liberty also focuses on and does a great job of keeping their students on track to graduate. And with that comes our college readiness programs like EIP, AVID, Network 53, and NCAPS, and other internships that gives experience in real world learning. We also have competitive programs such as school sports and speech and debate. With that being said, to introduce our team, my name is Teray. I'm a junior, and I'm a part of the AVID program, and I also run track.
My name is Brenna. I am a junior. I play tennis. I am in Key Club, National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Link.
Yeah, my name is Javion Byers. I'm a senior. I play basketball for the school. I do track and field. I'm a part of the Spanish Honor Society, and I'm a part of the AVID program.
My name is Natalie Adams. I'm a senior at Liberty High School. I'm a part of the early college program, AVID, and was a recipient of the Casey Scholars Scholarship.
My name is Thomas Hand. I'm a senior at Liberty High School. I'm a part of the Broadcasting Department, National Honor Society, and Network 53.
My name is Natalia Konecki. I'm a senior at Liberty High School. I'm a part of National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, Key Club, Link, Breakfast Club, and the school's dance team.
First and foremost, the reason why Liberty chose this topic of learning styles is because there are many different learning styles, and we want this topic of research to bring about confidence in students and knowing that it is okay to not be comfortable with the traditional learning style of sitting in a classroom all day. That it is okay to be different in the way that you learn. Something that is important to us is class culture, and an example of that can be found in our AVID program.
The AVID program for me has helped me become a more outspoken learner. Beforehand, I was very shy and very vulnerable to ask questions, and being a first generation college student, my family didn't really have a bar set for me, and I wasn't sure on where my path was going to take me. And with Avid, I felt like I was being advocated for. I felt like I had a teacher that I could talk to on a consistent basis. And I was able to ask questions and be loud and proud about my answers, even if they were wrong. And it taught me to be very confident, and I learned amazing study habits along the way.
And also with our Avid program, just getting up in front of the classroom and having to do TRFs and things like that, it really helps you to become a better learner all around, and being comfortable with like asking questions and being okay with having peers help you also. Another example of class culture for us would be our diversity program, where our main focus is to make sure that all of our students feel comfortable in their own skin and accepted by others, peers and teachers. So that's really a great thing, a great program for us, because I feel like we really include everyone and make sure that everyone feels accepted. The pandemic has really affected everyone, students and teachers, and it has brought into question how students are learning. And Zoom so far has been really beneficial in the aspect of connecting students with the teachers when we couldn't see them face to face. So I feel like that in itself brought in a number of new learning styles. Zoom is good for some people and not good for some people. Maybe learning in small groups could be good for others, or maybe just the traditional way. You know, there's many different styles, and we just want to make sure that everyone knows that it's okay to not have to sit in the classroom. With that being said, we want to also support our teachers, because this is an adjustment for them also, as well as for us. So we want to help them be better teachers in the sense that they're able to really engage with their students and cater to their learning styles.
Defining key terms. These are terms that we will mention throughout this presentation. Starting off with learning styles. What that means to me is many different ways and techniques that students learn best by. And we have positive learning environments, which is a setup or emotional feel to a classroom. And we have AVID, as you've already heard. It stands for Advancement via Individual Determination. And TRF stands for Tutorial Request Form, which we do in AVID that helps students excel with their schoolwork. And student voice. Student voice is the act of being able to share their ideas and thoughts about school, which is great for students to do, because without students' voice, we can't make these changes to schools. And lastly, we have BARC assessment, which will be mentioned later on in this presentation.
So this is what we're going to be presenting to you guys today. We have brainstormed our favorite aspects of Liberty High School, and we thought of different ways that we can make students more included in the classroom. These subtopics encompass how we can take action and why is it important right now. Subtopic number 1 is history. We wanted to talk about the traditional learning styles versus the learning styles that we have today. The second one is relevance. It will help teachers to cater to students, and teachers can help with student learning. And then subtopic 3 is the challenges with learning styles, is that some students not aware, or they are not aware of their learning styles, and there are many different learning styles out there. And then our fourth subtopic was solutions. Students and staff can learn their learning styles, and then also through new ideas like gaming, and then classrooms with inclusion as well. And the history of learning styles, obviously there are the traditional routines of the past, like take notes, study, and take a test over a certain subject. Some solutions that have worked is inclusive activities, student and teacher meetings, then educational gaming as well. The one part about the educational gaming, it can really tie into students just feeling more included in the classroom, and it kind of makes it more fun as well. I was reading an article, it was a citizenship game where kids had to lower the level of pollution in the water, and then they also found out how much pollution could be in a lake before disaster strikes, or different ways that they could unpollute the water and just save the environment. And then also, whenever it comes to history, how is school going to be different post-pandemic, and then what it was like pre-pandemic. So obviously, like Teray said earlier, Zoom classes, some kids learn better in person than virtually. And Brenna, I know you wanted something to say about this.
Yeah, so with traditional notes, it wasn't just, it's been 10 years versus now has been like the type of traditional notes because of electronics and how all of those have changed throughout the years. And like with everyone getting computers or iPads now in Liberty, the notes and videos have all kind of changed on how people learn.
Yeah, and the transition virtually as well is also a big thing because of the pandemic. So maybe some kids don't like learning virtually, and that's something that students can figure out.
And then relevance. Relevance is really important because it explains why everything applies to what we're saying today. I believe that classrooms are like second homes to students, and they need to foster a positive learning environment to facilitate emotional and behavioral support, as well as if you can do these things, you can improve anxiety, you can improve intention among all of your students. You create these stronger relationships between students and teachers so they feel more comfortable with being vulnerable, and you'll be able to impact a larger body as well. If you can get to that one kid that was struggling, then you can get to every kid. And this will also just be if people can implement programs where they use positive learning environments. I read an article about virtual reality for Kansas City students, and what I found really interesting is that they were able to use coding and augmented reality to get kids more involved in things that maybe they didn't know they liked. They were able to take coding classes and work on projects that ultimately won them scholarships and opportunities to have an edge on their resume when they were applying for jobs or applying to colleges, which I think is really cool. And every school district could use something like that just to get more students involved, as well as relevance. I remember my fifth grade year, we started positive learning environment. We started new types of learning styles. I was in a blended classroom. All three fifth grade classes were in the same classroom together with the same teachers. All teachers taught different subjects, and that was kind of my first take with different learning styles. And I'm now a senior in high school, and things constantly change and evolve, and that's why it's important to continue to put the needs of the student first. But there obviously are challenges to this. Teachers see a large body of students every day with different types of classes, and it can be challenging to cater to all learning styles. There are tests and assessments that students can take to make it easier on teachers to kind of gauge data on how their class will learn better. And then the other challenge is engaging students fully to begin with. You have to feel comfortable and safe in an environment to speak openly and speak loudly and want to interact with other students. Non-empathetic classrooms can create a cutthroat environment that just causes a lot of quietness. You're not going to have a fun growth mindset classroom if everyone is kind of quiet and to themselves. And the third challenge is that most of the time students are unaware of the type of learner they are. They don't know what's best for them. They've kind of been told to do one thing a certain way and they've gone with it for their whole entire educational career. And with that, student learners may feel neglected and struggle to grow and continue to learn because they haven't been introduced to different types of learning strategies, different types of techniques when it comes to understanding what the teacher is saying.
So some solutions that we came up with was that students can be surveyed on how they like to learn and what helps them. And we can also survey the teachers, and that was with an article that Natalie read, and it was about the VARC testing, and that 79% of students found it useful when they got surveyed on how they like to learn. And then our second solution would be classrooms are like a second home to students, and we want them to feel comfortable by building empathy skills. So with how Liberty has it right now, we made flex spaces and spaces around our school to have kids be comfortable and able to learn, and just give them places other than just the classroom to learn in. Our third one is teachers can teach to a variety of learning styles, and that is where that BARC testing can also come in and have the strength of the teachers. Like some teachers are good at doing hand-on notes, other teachers are good at doing video notes, and it just would help students and teachers know like which one they're helpful for. And I would say like the teachers for learning styles, it's hard because like with COVID, they had to do a whole different type of teaching, and they had to do virtual teaching and bring it to our hybrid. It's like they don't know which one is also helping students, either if it's watching video notes or if it's doing hands-on notes. It's like all just helping them.
The how. All teachers can attend a conference that discusses different learning strategies and how they can teach to accommodate them. For example, here at Liberty High School, our teachers have the opportunity to attend a session about unconscious bias, which will also double as a training for them. Switching teaching methods to benefit students would take lots of time because most teachers already have a way that they like to teach that may or may not encompass what the students need to have. Trying out different ways of teaching would take research, planning, and adjusting on the teaching perspective. For students, it may be hard to adjust to new learning styles because most of us have gotten used to the ways our teachers use, regardless of whether or not it is how we effectively learn. It also may seem that a learning style works for us, but after a few days, it no longer works or fits with our needs. Overall, trying to incorporate different learning styles would be a lengthy time commitment. Incorporating different learning styles wouldn't necessarily be a great expense for schools unless they're committed to reshaping the school as well and not just the education that their students receive. One of the things that we discussed is the need for comfortable learning spaces in areas where independent students can learn in an environment where they feel comfortable. Creating these spaces in schools could be a possible financial burden, but they are not necessary for different learning strategies to be incorporated within student education. Another possible financial cost to different learning strategies would be to get different programs into schools that allow for students to feel accepted. These can include AVID, early college programs, internships, and other like-type topics.
And in all, we really just want this whole research project to just bring about positive change. We really want everything that was talked about today to be taken into consideration to make it better for teachers, counselors, students, administrators, even the community. You know, everybody learns differently, so I feel like this could definitely bring about something good for everyone.
So before I started researching learning styles, I thought that there were just the three main ones, which was like hands-on learning, visual learning, and then obviously auditorial learning. So just like listening to teachers talk. But there are many different ways that you could do all three kinds of those. You could do different activities, and then obviously there are different teachers that can teach different ways. So there's just many more possibilities whenever it comes to learning styles for students. That actually gaming can be a big part of learning for some kids, especially whenever it comes to science. There are lots of games out there. It could teach in a way that a lot, just sitting and taking notes really can't.
So the impact I want this to have on education is the fact that we can bring confidence and comfortability to other people in knowing that you don't have to just do the traditional way of learning. If you're comfortable with maybe doing it in small groups, or maybe Zoom is for you, or maybe being in a traditional setting, that maybe just the regular way is not just how you want to do it, and that's fine. So going into our research, honestly, I didn't really know that there were different learning styles. I thought there were only really one, which was us going to school every day and really like being in a class for 7 hours a day. And then due to, our unfortunate circumstances of the pandemic, then Zoom came along and I didn't really know there was any really necessary such thing until that came along. And then I learned that there's just a lot of people that are not that the typical traditional way to be in school may not be comfortable for everybody. So there are many different learning styles for different people.
We appreciate all you guys who came here to listen to us and what we found in our research. And then one thing that we really want you guys to take away from this is that there are many different ways that kids can learn and get educated. There isn't just the one of just sit down, take notes, take a test, and just keep going. All kids learn differently. So there's definitely different ways that you can go about it, and then you can also make it kind of enjoyable for the children too. We do have a Q&A following this presentation, so we'd like for you guys to stay, and if you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask, and we will answer them for you guys. So appreciate everyone coming, and thank you.